For the longest time, we thought we had cybersecurity figured out, right? We put up digital walls, we installed antivirus, we came up with these super complicated passwords, and we thought, okay, we're safe. But in just the last few years, the entire game has changed. The threats we're all facing now are faster, they're smarter, and they're way more personal than anything we've seen before. And to really get it, to understand this new reality, we have to look at one specific moment, a moment that changed everything. So our story begins at a really specific and honestly kind of creepy time, 3:42 in the morning. A senior bank manager, a guy named Ollie, gets woken up by his phone. He doesn't recognize the number, but the voice on the other end, he knows it instantly. It's his CEO. And the thing is, the voice was perfect. The tone, the sense of panic, it even had the CEO's little signature cough. But it wasn't him. It was an AI voice clone, and it was generated from just 3 seconds of audio that was scraped off the internet. Ali, completely convinced it was real, made the transfer. The next morning, of course, he finds out his CEO never called. And he wasn't the only one, not by a long shot. On that one day, 147 other major companies were hit with almost identical AI-driven attacks. And the total damage? Over $2 billion. So you see, this wasn't just a few isolated hacks. This was a statement. It was a signal that a whole new era of cyber warfare was here. Yeah, that day, that was the moment everything shifted. The attack on Ollie wasn't some one-off thing. It was really the first shot fired in a brand new kind of war. All the simple tools that hackers used to rely on were suddenly obsolete, replaced by something way more powerful. And the scale of the damage just exploded, almost overnight. Let's actually look at the numbers because they really show how dramatic this change was. Now, what's so wild about this is just the sheer speed of the change. We're not talking about little, slow increases here. Voice cloning fraud just blew up by 450%. AI-powered phishing, which we're going to talk more about, shot up by 280%. This isn't just an evolution, you guys. It's a full-on revolution in criminal tactics. So here's the absolute key takeaway. Artificial intelligence, it's not just a tool for the good guys anymore. For the attackers, it's now become their #1 weapon. And that has created this whole new generation of malware that doesn't just follow instructions. It learns, it adapts, and it evolves on its own. And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. Look at this. A typical old-school phishing email, it might trick about 3% of people if they're lucky. But when you use an AI tool like WormGPT, something that can write a flawless, personalized email that sounds exactly like your boss, the success rate jumps to an incredible 68%. The AI can write a better fake email from your boss than a human ever could. And these new attacks are just frighteningly efficient. From the second you click a link that looks totally fine to the final attack, the entire thing can be over in less than 30 seconds. The malware gets in, it downloads itself in little encrypted pieces so it's not detected, it scouts your system for any weakness, and then it just waits for the perfect moment. Like, say, when you log into your bank. And then it strikes, steals your info, and erases its own tracks on the way out. And here's what's really terrifying. Because this AI malware is constantly rewriting its own code, it's a technique called polymorphic evolution, our traditional antivirus software is basically useless. The detection rate for these new threats, it's only 12%. And while we're all scrambling to defend against the weapons of today, there's an even bigger threat already barreling down the tracks. As if malware that learns on its own wasn't enough to worry about, we have this other freight train heading our way: quantum computing. And look, this isn't science fiction anymore. It's a real technology that threatens to make every single piece of encrypted data we have totally and completely vulnerable. So how does this even work? Well, let me break it down for you. Your computer, the one you're on right now, uses bits. A bit is either a 0 or a 1. It's on or off. A quantum computer, though, uses qubits, and a qubit can be a 0 and a 1 at the exact same time. It's a weird concept called superposition, but what it means is they have this unbelievable level of processing power. A problem that would take our best supercomputer 1,000 years to solve, a quantum computer could potentially crack it in a few hours. Okay, and this is why it's a huge problem right now. Today, hackers are already doing something called harvest now, decrypt later. They are stealing enormous troves of encrypted data. We're talking your emails, your financial records, government secrets, and they're just holding on to it. They're just waiting, patiently, for the day when quantum computers are strong enough to crack all that encryption wide open. The data you think is safe right now is already at risk for tomorrow. Okay, so I know this all sounds pretty bleak. The threats are daunting. But here's the good news. The world of cybersecurity is fighting back, and it's doing it with a whole new generation of defenses built for this new reality. We're moving to things like post-quantum cryptography, and maybe most importantly for you and me, a future without passwords. I mean, let's just be real for a second. Passwords have completely failed us. This slide pretty much says it all. A massive 81% of all security breaches happen because of weak or stolen passwords. We reuse them everywhere, we make them too simple, and frankly, they're just a huge pain to manage. The whole idea is just broken. And that's where passkeys come in. So instead of a password you have to remember, a passkey uses your phone or your computer to create this unique, super strong cryptographic key. The private part of that key never leaves your device. So when you go to log in somewhere, you just use your face or your fingerprint. It's basically phishing-proof, it's incredibly strong, and it's way more convenient. This is the new standard that Google, Apple, and Microsoft are all rolling out right now. All right, so after hearing all of that, you're probably thinking, okay, this is overwhelming. What can I actually do about it? And that's the crucial question. Securing your digital life is totally achievable. We're going to break it down into some simple, really powerful things you can start doing right now, starting with the stuff you can do today. Okay, level 1. This is the stuff you should do, like, today, if you can. First, turn on two-factor authentication, or 2FA, for your most important accounts, especially your main email. Second, go to the website haveibeenpwned.com. You just type in your email and it'll tell you if it's been in a data breach. Third, start using those passkeys wherever they're available. And finally, keep your software updated. Seriously, 60% of attacks use vulnerabilities that already have a fix available. Now, a quick but really important point about 2FA. Not all methods are the same. Getting a text message with a code is the most basic level, and those can be intercepted. A bit better is using an authenticator app, like Google Authenticator. But the gold standard, the best you can get, is a physical hardware key, like a YubiKey. It's essentially unhackable. There's an old saying that I think just hits the nail on the head here. You can't wait for the storm to hit to start thinking about this stuff. You have to build your defenses now, while things are calm, because once an attack is actually happening, it's already too late. So after everything we've looked at, from AI voice clones to quantum code breakers, we're really left with one big question. As people and as a society, are we actually ready for what's coming next? And this might be the most important number in this entire discussion, because it shows us where our biggest weakness really is. All the technology in the world can only do so much. A staggering 95% of all cybersecurity breaches are ultimately caused by plain old human error, which means the single most important line of defense is you. So let's make it super, super simple. Here are 3 things you can do in the next 5 minutes that will make you safer. 1. Turn on 2FA for your main email account. 2. Go into your Google or Apple account and create your very first passkey. And 3. Open your calendar and set a reminder to back up your important files sometime this week. That's it. These small steps are what build a really strong defense. Because in the end, it really all comes down to a choice. The threats are real, and they are evolving faster than we can even imagine. In this new world, you have to decide, are you going to be an easy target, or are you going to take the steps to become a fortress? The choice, really, is yours.